Hi everyone. So I'm doing a rough and ready meditation. I guess all meditation can be rough and ready. We're not aiming for perfection. And I'm just really inspired this morning because I've had just what feels to be one of the most pivotal epiphanies. You can read something over and over again, you can intellectualize it, you can kind of understand it. In your thinking brain, but sometimes when something just hits you, and that feels like what's happened to me in the last 48 hours. So, if you saw my video on Instagram or Facebook today, I'm really talking about what we have to do, our job in our lockdowns, what we should really be focusing on our inner work. And the inner work I'm talking about is emotions, which is one of my favorite things to talk about, and happen to be one of the least favorite things that, you know, the generation before us liked to talk about, right? So, our generation, to those of you who are similar age to me, give or take, we've come out of a generation who were raised very strictly, right? Where this kind of, you must obey me, this kind of, you don't know as much as I do, which is true. We need to keep aspects of that to keep our kids safe. I'm not denying that. But this, you follow me, otherwise you will be punished kind of rule. And it's kind of slightly softened, generation. And then we've got to this generation where we're having kids, and all of a sudden, our own childhood trauma, however big or small that trauma was, because we're not all subject to physical or sexual abuse. That's not the full remit of trauma. We all have ways that we were raised that have shaped now how we approach people, how we interact, our relationships with people. And it's this unconscious stuff that's driven from how we were raised as kids, which is got us into this kind of sticky point we are right now. And as things contract, as we have this kind of what feels like paternal force saying, you can't do this, you must listen to me. And then the maternal, the strict maternal force saying, I will reward you with a lovely Christmas if you do what I do. We have the two strategies of, getting other people to do what you want. As a parent, you're kind of aware of this. So we have that going on, and we can get distracted by that. But actually, the bigger picture is what is being triggered, right? Because how you coped with your parents' strategy for raising you has created unconscious behaviors in your own life, in how you relate to people, whether you are a natural just rebel. I don't know, what did you do when you in your childhood? Did you decide just to rebel against it all and screw it all, or did you kind of rebel but make the kind of impression that you weren't? Did you just please your parents? And there's a big body of work that I think that it's really starting to highlight how many of us really have been raised people pleasers because of how our parents parented. Effectively, that technique has created this amount of us who just do things because we want to please someone else, and actually it's leading to a lot of resentment and anger. So there is also other emotions that are showing their head, shame and guilt, which are different things. There is, even disgust. There is a whole load of anger in all the heads that it shaped, like frustration, like irritation, all of this. And then there's kind of fear, real fear. And whether that's because you are vulnerable, because you have underlying health issues, there's a fear, and there can be a sadness. Obviously, there have been lots of people dying this year, a lot more than normal. We haven't been able to see family members as much as we may have wanted to. So we have this like on all angles, the paternal, the maternal, the society around us, the sadness, the fear, the anger. And each one of us is going to be triggered by one more than other. Obviously, you probably have a matrix of things going on. But we're going to do meditation now that's going to work to transmute one of the big ones, whichever one is coming up. So I just want you to take a moment just to rub your hands, feel your hands. Place the soles of the feet on the ground or cross your legs, or maybe kneel, you know, your choice. Take your hand on your heart, and your heart is the king of your emotions. And just going into your heart, take a big inhale and exhale. What are you being triggered by? And what is the emotion that is triggering you? And when I say trigger, I don't just mean to anger. Sometimes people think triggering means anger. You know, what are you feeling sad about? What are you fearful about? What is the guilt that's arising, or the shame? What do you feel like you should be doing for someone or not, or for yourself, or for your children, your parents? I don't know. And now watch your breath. And with that emotion, that whatever it is, I'm not going to go through the names of them now. You have your own name for whatever. The emotional charge behind the trigger is. I'm going to bring that awareness as you scan your body and see where the emotion is in your body. See how big or small it is. And maybe place your hands where it is, or maybe just release your hands to your legs. Sit up nice and tall, and with that awareness of where that emotion is in your body, breathe into that place. And just feel what that emotion feels like. And with your creative imagination, give your emotion a little bit of form. Maybe give it a person's face, body, maybe an animal, maybe something abstract, maybe it's just a color. And ask it why it's there. And ask it what it needs. And feed it what it needs with your creative imagination. However you want to feed it. Whether it's with your breath or with an imaginary thing, item. And let's all come to our breath and breathe and give that emotion what it needs. Inhale, breathing into that place, filling it up. And ask it what it's going to give you. What is its gift? All emotions have a gift. We never reject our emotions because they are what drives us. They give us courage. In order to be courageous, we also need to feel fear. We need to feel anger. If we reject sadness, we reject happiness. Breathing into that place, feeding that emotion what it needs, and allowing its power and its force to spread through your body. And thanking that emotion and committing to yourself to listening to it and to giving it what it needs in your daily life. To taking whatever actions it's asked you to take, whatever it's asked you to do for yourself, whether it's self-care, whether it's speaking up, whether it's making a change, whether it's going to bed. And breathing love into that place, and compassion and forgiveness. And breathing up and down the spine, allowing that power and that gift to come into your conscious world. You may be very good at visualizing what you want from your life, but if we can't transmute these emotions, the same patterns are going to happen over and over again. You have to do this work, as uncomfortable as it is. You know, we don't like feeling these emotions, but within these emotions, there are our deepest gifts and our deepest treasures. And with those gifts, breathe them through your whole body. Make your whole body feel their power, feel their light. You don't have to get more perfect. You already are. And just bringing your hands and giving yourself a little hug, appreciating this body. And to all those people pleasers out there, you know, you are enough. You are good enough, just the way you are. So it's a really short meditation, but you can work with that one emotion until it fully dissipates, until it fully transforms, till it fully gives you its gifts. And then find the next one, like a layer of an onion. You know, for me, the first one was shame. Shame was the first one I hit. And in the last 6 months of working with shame, underneath that was anger. But it was funny, when I was working with shame, I thought it was anger that was covering up my shame. So there's layers. It's like there was shame hiding the anger, and there was anger hiding the shame, in this kind of the layers that we put on ourselves as we have effectively become socialized or conditioned through our childhood. This isn't about blaming our parents. This is about taking the skills and the tools that we have right now. And all of us have a collective individual responsibility to take ownership for those emotions, to stop rejecting them in other people. The more we reject them, the more the universe throws them at us. The more I reject anger, the more I see it in my world, and the more angry I become inside my world about the anger out there in the world, because everything should be love and peace and happiness, And whether your parents modeled you anger, or modeled you guilt, or modeled you aversion of emotions, we all have some conditioning and socialization and trauma that we are working through right now. And as I said in the meditation, the importance of working through that is paramount right now, because only that vision of the new future, the new kind of way that the structures and systems can establish themselves, old stuff needs to be cleared, this charge, its gifts need to be harnessed, tethering fear, tethering anger. And just like that tarot card, they've got the chariot, courageous chariot, and our horses are fear and anger, and they're pulling us out of this dark place, and they're transforming the world with hopefully a good humor through it all, because it's tough on everyone in different ways. And with that, reach out to other people having a tough time. Other people are going to be showing more of their unconscious stuff right now. There is going to be more anger out there. Showing a bit more compassion, even to whether it's people crying, whether it's people being angry. Women we're all kind of being asked as a kid to not be angry, and all of a sudden there's anger at not being able to have force and do things, because that time has ended now. We are knocking it all down. The castle is falling down. The tower is being destroyed. That is not harmonious with anyone, right? So be compassionate, be forgiving, go in and work on yourself in this lockdown phase. Keep a journal, note the emotions, talk to them, maybe personify them a bit more, see them maybe where they fragmented, where you rejected them at the earlier points in your life, and start to talk to them, bring them in, make them your friend. And hopefully through that integration, when we come out the other side, we can see the new life, the new world that we're going to create together. So namaste, short and sweet and a bit messy. Look at my chaos of my kitchen. Sure, that's life. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.